Namaskar. Let me welcome you all to today's episode of Sitar Learning Essentials. Today we are going to discuss about the importance of tabla during the practice sessions. Once the students start playing certain phrase or certain practice content smoothly, like without uneven gaps, I advise them to start playing with or practicing with the tabla because of two reasons. They will start being habituated to play in a particular tempo without any kind of fluctuation or deviation from that. So they will have the steady tempo. So for that, and second purpose is to be familiar with the tabla syllables, tabla sound. So even if they don't get any tabla players for accompaniment, I advise them to have some tabla app and use that for during practice content, because whatever we are practicing, you see, mostly 95% of the stuff are in rhythm. There is some tempos, there is some beat, there is some division that we have to maintain, be it right hand related practice, strumming pattern practice, be it left hand related practice, some sapat movement or some palta, alankar, or even jhala. Only thing which I can imagine, when we do slow mean practice, there might not be any kind of beat or rhythm or tempo involved into it, but rest of the things we need to involve tabla to make the tempo less steady. Now I will discuss the importance, why practicing with tabla is important. The most important point, which I have already mentioned, it strengthens your melodic and rhythmic coordination, which is extremely essential part of Hindustani music and also in Carnatic music, also definitely in Indian classical music. The melodic and rhythmic coordination happens well if we start practicing with tabla in early stages, and it also develops a kind of a strong sense of the tal, the rhythm, and the lay, that is the tempo. What is tempo? Tempo is nothing but the gap between two consecutive beats. If the lay is slow or vilambit, the gaps between beats are more. If it is less gap within the two consecutive beats, then it is fast. And if the gap is medium, then it is called medium tempo or madhya lay. So this is another reason. Third reason is that it actually enhances the understanding of the structure of the composition. If we recite, even before playing, if we count the beats and sing or recite the composition structure verbally, the mapping of the notes, swaras, that is the melody, on the template of the tal structure becomes easier. And once it is there in our mind that we are aware, okay, this melodic position is first beat, and this melodic position is the khali, and this melodic position is such and such matra, then we have a better understanding on the composition structure, and it is easier to do the improvisation and come back to the mukam or mukhra during the performance or during the improvisation. So it enhances the understanding of the composition structure, and not only that, also improvisation. Right? Third thing, it syncs the melodic phrases with the rhythmic cycles, which I just mentioned. Then the timing, discipline, and the concentration during the performance. The timing, discipline, and the concentration during the performance. If we are habituated with the positions, so basically what I say, with the rhythmic cycles, there are two aspects. One is the relation. That means whatever we are playing, that needs to match with the beat. We should not go ahead, or we should not lag behind. We should go along with the beat, right? So that practice happens. So this timing, discipline, and I mean, if we practice in advance like this, then the entire process of syncing with the tal will remain in our subconscious, and we can focus during the performance on the actual music production. We don't have to worry about how to sync with tabla or how to sync with rhythm. Also, it involves listening to the co-musician. So whoever is accompanying us on the tabla, we gradually build the listening skill, and if they perform something nice, then we will be able to appreciate it, we will understand that, and it will have a kind of natural interaction with the co-musician. And that is only possible once we understand their language, once we understand their syllables, once we understand their style of improvisation. So getting aware with the tabla, not only theka but also their solo pieces once they play, or listening to tabla lahara in general, helps in understanding of the rhythmic cycles and the way of their improvisation. And definitely it prepares for our concert situation and live accompaniment. We get prepared for the live concert situation. And not only that, it also dynamically and musically enhances the practice session. So sometimes people say, sir, our practice sessions get monotonous because we keep on doing the same thing. Then I ask them to do two things. One, to involve their conscious mind and track the speed in which they are being able to perform, being able to play or practice. So how it is possible? Once we involve tabla in our practice session, then what happens? We know that we are playing in this such and such BPM. We are playing in double speed of this tempo in BPM. We are being able to play 3 times of this BPM, of this particular tempo. So we have an estimate of our current capability. Okay, we can play till this point, but we can't play beyond this. So we have a benchmark, current benchmark, and we can practice to break that barrier. So unless and until we know till what point we can play, till what speed we are able to play at this point of time, how we will be able to improve from there. So to estimate our own capacity and capability in terms of speed, clarity and number of repetitions, it is also very important to involve tabla during our practice session. So I hope this discussion is helpful, and to get this kind of video, do subscribe to our channel and click on the bell icon to get all the notifications of our uploads. Thank you so much. Namaskar.